Guys, I'm Gagasita. Welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, which you probably are. So nice to meet you. I'm Gagasita. I am such a huge beauty lover, a huge makeup enthusiastic. I am not a makeup artist, but I love to play with techniques and play with shadows and textures. And yeah, so this channel is gonna be all about it. I am still planning to do some kind of other content, so maybe in the near future, I can give you some other kind of content. I just needed to walk out a little bit of my comfort zone because I am not really confident in my body, and yeah, so this could take a little bit more, and I don't know, maybe in the future, who knows. But today's video is gonna be all about the Christmas Eve the Christmas Eve eyeshadow palette by Oden's. This extremely limited edition eyeshadow palette, and I had a lot of fun creating this look, which is gonna be the first impression eye look. And by the way, now I'm gonna let you with the swatches, some comparisons, because I find this palette really interesting, and you're gonna see in the swatches and comparison part of this video. But if you like this kind of content, please, consider subscribe. You maybe like me, we can be friends. We are such a small group, we are growing a little bit, and I have so much fun on doing videos here on YouTube. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe and keep on watching. The whole package came in this beautiful packaging here, and inside there were a lot of bubble wrap, and they put a really nice touch, which is this beautiful Christmas best wishes card. I really find this touch a really nice touch from them. This one is the Christmas Eve palette, and the packaging is just amazing. As you can see, it has all these details in holographic. In the back you have the whole ingredient list for the palette, but when you open up in the actual palette, you don't have the ingredient list, you just have the shadow's name. In the front, the packaging is actually the same. Inside you have a mirror. As you can see here, you have a nice mirror. It's a kind of a smaller one. It doesn't take the whole package, but it has a mirror, and then you have the plastic to protect your shades. But let's start doing some swatch. I'm gonna start by swatching from the shade Snowflakes, and then I go down rows like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's put my arm here. The first shade is the shade Snowflakes, and Snowflakes is a silver fine shimmer shade. Wow, this shadow has a lot of texture, and it's a really nice color. Silver are always stunning in makeup, but this one, it's in particular extremely textured shimmer. The next color is the shade Ice Crystal, and Ice Crystal, it's a gray matte shade. I'm gonna put one layer more, and yeah, this kind of colors never works on my skin tone, but I'm gonna make a point to try to use this one at least once, so we can actually try something new together. Then we got the color Silvery Dream, and they describe Silvery Dream as a brown shimmer more than an actually brown. To me, it's more like a actually taupey mauve shimmery shade, a really nice color. Then we got the color Nightfall, which is a grayish light blue. This one is a nice color too. Then we got the color Just Now, which is described as a light lime green matte. Oh, this is a really interesting color. Snow Light, it's a light gold shimmer, and it's one of those more textured kind of shimmers. Okay, so right now you may be noticing a changing on light and on something, maybe the table I'm using, because this is another day. This is not the same day as I started to do the swatches, but I was editing the video, then I noticed that I was completely out of frame and there is no point to me coming here and show you the swatches if I am not showing the swatches, you know what I mean? So I decided to redo the swatches until the part where I already edited and was kind of easy to see what I was doing, but right now let's continue from where I stopped. Okay, so the next color is the shade Christmas Eve, which is described as a dark blue matte. Then the next color is the shade Blue Eyes, which is described light blue shimmer. Then the next shade is the shade Feeling Time, which is described as a brown gold shimmer, more like an antique gold. It's so baroque looking like. I love this kind of shade. It's just rich, you know. Can't wait to put on my eyes. Then the next shade is the shade Nowhere, which is described as a gray matte. I will actually say that it's more like a mauvey gray matte. Wonderful, it's described like a light purple with multi-color shimmer. This one is more like a toppery shimmer. The base isn't as strong as in other shimmers. Nice shade, by the way. The next color is a shade Softly, which is a brown green matte. And I was so excited when I saw this color in the palette, because this color really speaks to me, you know. I really enjoy this kind of green because it's like neutral without being boring. Let's go to swatch the last row, which starts with the shade Lemon Tart, which is described like a yellow matte. It has something more pastel about this. I will not say that it's a pastel yellow. I will say there is something pastelish about this color, meaning that the white base is really strong on this one here. Then the next color is the shade Gorgeous, which is a dreamy purple undertone with multi-chrome of pink and blues. Then we get the color Night Sky, which is a blue-black matte. How pretty is this extremely dark color, almost black. The last color of this palette is the shade Blue Star, which is described as a dark blue shimmer. This one has an extremely dark base. It's almost like a black base. It's wow. You can really see the reflex of the blue and the purple. Wow, so impressed with these shimmers. And we have a nice variation of kind of shimmers in this palette here, as always, like in the Oden's Eyes palette. And there are some shimmers that are more topper, there are some shimmers that are more opaque, metallic, there are a multi-chrome, and there are some really unique colors. But the matte is what makes this palette to be more like almost like a year-round palette. A really nice color story, but now let's see the comparisons. This is how both color stories looks together. I don't own every single Oden's Eye palette, but I have some of them, and I have all the limited editions one. When I first saw the Christmas Eve palette, I was like, is this one not too much similar to the Annette one? And now that I see them side by side, there are some colors that are extremely similar. For example, the shade softly here really makes me think of this color here in the Annette palette, which is the shade Antipode 1. And you can see they are Antipode is this one here, and this one here is the one in the Merry Christmas palette. You can see they are extremely similar. I do prefer the one in the Christmas Eve palette because it's a little bit more yellow in the undertone, but you can see they are pretty much dupes. Then I was thinking about swatching side by side this blue here with this one here. Yeah, they are similar, but definitely not the same. The one in the Christmas Eve palette, it's way much. This one is the one in the Christmas Eve palette, and you can see it's way much more dimensional, and you can see a lot of blue and purple in it. When the one in the Annette palette, it's like they are brothers, they are not twins, but they are definitely brothers, really close in family, you know. The one in the Christmas Eve palette, I do prefer it again because it's more blue and it's more shimmery looking like. And the one in the Annette palette, it's extremely shimmery as well, but you can see more of the dark base, where the one in the Christmas Eve palette has a dark base, but you can see more of the blue sheen. I don't know if I'm doing, if you know what I mean. They are similar, not the same. Then the multichrome, it's what makes me go like, is it a dupe? Is it not? So let's swatch the color Gorgeous, which is a gorgeous shade. Okay, we'll stop it. Side by side with the color Ethereal here. Yeah, they are not. Let me swatch it here for you. Yeah, here you can see it, right? Okay. And this one here. You can see they are not the same because the one in the Annette palette has more of a, I want to say a green base. I know they look extremely similar. It's funny because on my viewfinder I can see more pink, and in real life I can see more blue. Yeah, but by the way, they are extremely similar. They will probably look exactly the same in your eye. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see a lot of difference. The only difference is that the one in the Annette palette, it's slightly lighter, but slightly. It isn't exactly the same color, but they are really similar. Then in the Annette palette, we have this extremely dark color, which is it a black? Am I mistaken? No, this is a black. And then the one in the Night Eve, it isn't a black, but it's an extremely deep dark blue. And you're gonna see they are not dupes by any means. The swatch, oh my goodness, I did the worst swatch ever. But this one, it's a black. So a black, it's a black. You know, you have a lot of them, and it's a nice black, don't get me wrong, but the one in the one in the Christmas Eve, it's a little bit, it's blue, it's not black. This is all in this palette. I feel that we don't have any other extremely similar color, at least here in real life they don't see really similar, but I can say that even though they have this three color, this 1, 2, 3 colors that are extremely similar, they still will do a really beautiful color story together. Then we got here the Hummingbird palette, and you know, this is a really nice, bright, fun, extremely shimmery, heavy palette. My Hummingbird's palette, it's slightly different than the one in this palette here. The other limited edition palette is the Red Dragon one, and yeah, this one has nothing nothing to do with this one here. Then the last collab palette that we have, it's this one here. This one is the Hella palette by the stunning Angelica Nyqvist, and yeah, they have nothing similar. To me, this one looks way much more similar to the other. In the Skewed palette, which is part of the Norn collection, we got this extremely nice blue color here, which is the shade Dream. And the shade Dream actually remembers me a lot of the color Blue Star. This one is the one in the Christmas Eve palette, and this one is in the one in the... They're really similar. I know they look pretty much the same color, but the formula of the Christmas Eve palette is way much more better. Oh my god. it's way much pigmented and way much creamy and way much reflective than the one in the Skewed. The one in the Skewed, it's a really nice formula, but the one in the Christmas Eve, it's better. So you do you may be happy with this one here, which I personally am happy with this one here, but the one in the Christmas Eve palette, it's better. Here I have the Earth palette, and I was thinking like these two greens here could be really alike, but this one here you can see, almost you can already see in the palette that the shade Nostalgia, it's way much warmer and a little bit deeper than Just Now here. I can swatch them side by side, but to me, can you see? This one is the Just Now. You can see it has more of a white base, and this one is the shade Nostalgia, and you can see it has more yellow base and it's warmer. You can see this one, it's warmer than this one here. I was looking at my Verdandi palette and I was like, is it this color here, these two colors here together? I love to mix them together, can you see? Can you see this color here isn't similar to the shade Blue Eyes here? So let's swatch it side by side. No, they are completely different. Yeah, they could be wear together. This one is the one in the Verdandi palette, and this one is the one in the Christmas Eve palette. And I could wear them together. The Verdandi one, it's a more of a topper shade, where the one in the Christmas Eve palette, it's an actually cream, wet feeling and looking shimmer shade. Okay, in the Saga of Freya palette, and the one that looks more like a book, we have this extremely nice silver shade here. So let's swatch side by side with the one of the Christmas Eve palette. Can you see? I don't know if you can actually see, but this one is the one in the Saga of Freya. It's way much smoother and somehow it's extremely cool tone, where the one from the Christmas Eve palette, it's way much more textured. You can see, I don't know if you can, I hope you can actually see, but can you see how much texture this one has, when this one here is way much smoother? So this color here I will probably use it with glitter glue, where this one here I will use with a wet brush. I don't know, somehow this is an extremely unique silver shade. Look, look at the texture. This one is the one in the Saga of Freya. Yeah, on swatches you can see, look how much dimensional and blinding it is. It's wow, it's, oh boy. This color here has become really fast my favorite silver. You can use or one or the other, because let's be honest, in the same look they will be kind of a lot. But this one I will combine with some more warm toned shade, where this one here I will keep it cool. Yeah, that was all comparison that I can give you for this palette here, because let's be honest, in the Oden's eye we don't have a lot of cool tone shades, so these ones are kind of unique. Okay, so let's start with some eyeshadow primer. As you know, I am using my Louise eyeshadow base in number 2, and I'm gonna blend it with a brush. Okay, now that you are kind of close enough, I was looking into this color story, and this gray mauve shade here really intrigued me, but I will start with this deep dark blue because you probably already seen that I had some issues with the other palette, so I'm gonna start with the deepest color this time. In this way I can control better. With this flat brush here, this one it's a Oden Zoeva 234. I don't know if they still have this one on the site, but I'm gonna grab the color Night Sky, which is almost black, and I'm gonna place this color in the outer V by tapping this color, and I'm putting this color just in the outer part of my eyelid. I'm loving the depth of this color, so with the same brush I'm adding the same color in the outer part of my lower lash line, just in the outer here, just to you know, lift the eye a little bit. I'm not seeing any patchiness right now. Maybe when I will edit the video we'll see some patchiness, but right now I'm not seeing any patchiness. Now I'm gonna grab my Sigma E27, which is a smaller version of their classic E25. I'm gonna grab the gray mauve here, which is the shade Nowhere, and I'm placing this color in my crease. How pretty is this color? So unique. Now I'm putting the same color really close to my lower lash line, just here in the middle, just to give me a little bit of a continuation, you know. And I'm going to blend in the outer part with what was left on my brush. Be aware that if you blend this color too much lower down, you can end up with some interesting eye bags, because it's almost the color of my eye bag. So maybe don't put this color too you know, too much far down. Now with this angle cut brush, this one is the Sigma. They don't do this brush anymore, but this one is the Sigma Cut Crease E62, and with this brush here I wanna grab the color Nightfall, and I'm placing this color in the inner part of my eye, kind of creating a cut crease. How pretty is this color? The pigmentation, it's there, you guys. It's so pigmented, it's amazing. Now I'm gonna come back with the E25 and the shade Nowhere, just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna blend the crease in the inner part of my eye, of my eyes as well. I love the way this color is blending with these two colors. It's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now I'm gonna clean my Sigma E62 brush. I'm gonna just spot cleaning it just here. I'm gonna grab my NYX glitter glue. I'm putting this glitter glue just in the inner part of my eyelid, not in the inner corner, but almost there, you know, just here, because I wanna keep this look pretty much the same in the lid. I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. I'm gonna grab the color Blue Eyes here, which is a stunning light blue, and I'm gonna place this color right over my glitter glue. How pretty is this shade, you guys? I know that many people prefer to use their shimmers wet, but I feel that the Oden's eye formula give it give its best when it's actually with the glitter glue, because you can actually see the whole texture of the color. Now with another synthetic brush, this one is the one that came in my Naked, and a little bit more of glitter glue. Now I'm gonna work on that glitter glue just in the outer part of my lid, where is the darkest blue, you know. Now I'm gonna grab the color Blue Star down here, and I'm gonna place this color right over the darkest part of my eye, where I just placed the glitter glue, you know, just here in the outer part. Oh, how pretty is the shade. Now I'm gonna clean this brush here. I'm gonna place a little bit more of the glitter glue, but right now just in the middle of my eye, where I leave this empty space. When it comes to this kind of primers, I prefer to work step by step, because if the glitter glue dries out, it won't work as fine as when it's tacky, you know. So I do prefer to work a little bit by a little bit. I know it takes a little bit more, but the result it's actually way much better. Now it's time for the multi-chrome, so I'm gonna grab the shade Gorgeous here, and I'm gonna place this color right in the middle of my eye. How pretty! Seems the multi-chrome has the more transparent base. I can use it to blend over the others two shimmers just in the edges of the multi-chrome. This way it won't not be looking like a flag, you know, one color, two color, three colors. I can kind of trying to make them blend a little bit better together. I need to create an all blue look with this palette, because this color Blue Eyes, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now I'm gonna grab the shade Wonderful, and I'm gonna put this color here in the inner corner of my lower lash line, just to, you know, to bring together this whole look, because this multi-chrome really shift the purple. It's really visible in the multi-chrome, so to tie the look together. Now on my waterline, I'm gonna use this blue here from Beauty Bay. I will not tell you the name because I cannot read it, it's too small for me. A really nice pastel blue, it's almost white as you can see. Now I'm gonna come back and add a little bit more of the darkest blue, and by the way, I cannot see any patchiness, so I'm glad to tell you that you should start with the lighter, with the deeper color when you're working with this palette. Now I'm gonna grab the color Nowhere, this beautiful color here, and blend it a little bit more. And when I will come here in the edges, I will just thick, you know, just wing it a little bit more and connect it to the upper part of my crease. In this way I can tie the look together. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this color, but this time I'm gonna make it wet. I know that I told you that the Oden's Eye formula works best with glitter glue, but let's try it wet, because I want something to be a little bit more smoother in this part here. So here we go. Wow, that's a nice touch. I love this touch here. Let me put some mascara. Recently I bought this one here from Benefit. I tend to don't go for high-end mascara, because let's be real, they only last 6 months. But I always use completely my mascaras, and I was like, okay, so let's try it, because the one that I always use, I was out. Let me show you. I always use the Sky High. Where is it? I always use this one here from Maybelline, but it's completely finished. So I was like, okay, so let's try this other one here, because everyone loves this one here, even people that seems to have my same taste when it comes to mascara. So I was like, okay, let me try it. And I have a really smaller one, and I loved it, and I completely use it. So I decided to spend the money to get this one here. It's a little bit expensive, but it's kind of worth it, and it lasts. And I always finish my mascara, so I don't feel as bad, you know. Okay, so this is the final result with the mascara, and then I put some concealer in the middle of my face because before I didn't have any concealer, because I always do concealer before do my eyes and I have some fallout, then I have to clean it up and it's like a mess. So I decided, you know what, this time I will just do foundation and let to do the concealer part when I'm done. And honestly, I do prefer it. I don't know why, but I feel that the concealer looks way much better in this way. Yeah, this is the look with just mascara, but I'm gonna put some lashes and I'm gonna be right back to show you what for me it's gonna be the final result. Okay, so this is the final result with lashes, and I really do prefer this look with lashes because I feel that the lashes gives a pop and they are not as dramatic because they are the House of Lashes, the Iconics one, the Iconics Flare one, the one that I cut it too much. And let's talk about this eyeshadow for a little bit. What can I say? This eyeshadow, it's amazing and I loved it's the first time in my entire life that I completely fall in love with a gray shade. This gray shade, it's a really unique kind of mauvey gray shade, and now I am really into cool tone and I want to play with this palette way more. And as you've seen, if you start with the deeper color in your eyes, you can actually see that the eyeshadow doesn't go patchy. So I will try to use that color in the other palette a little bit more, but I feel that if you start with deeper shade, you won't have any patchiness problem. At least with this eye look, starting with the deeper shade, I didn't ended up with any kind of patchiness, and the eyeshadows blend really well and I really do enjoy this look. But wow, this is the final look. I hope you liked it, and if you'd like, please don't forget to leave me your thumbs up, subscribe if you like this kind of content, and let me know down below all your thoughts about this extremely limited edition eyeshadow palette. And see you soon. Bye bye.